Hi guys, so this is going to be another video about why I love series, and this video is about why I love journaling. So this is a habit that I started in the beginning of this year. This was a New Year's resolution that I took, and I have sustained this habit. It has completely changed my life, and there are a lot of reasons for it as well, and we'll get into those reasons in this video. So I started journaling in the beginning of this year, and I noticed that I was constantly stuck in a few loops and I wanted to get rid of them. And I wanted to examine my own thoughts, feelings, and emotions as well. And I thought journaling was a good way to do it. I have always tried to get into journaling, but I could never sustain it. But this year, I was positive that I'm going to sustain this habit. So, okay, why it works? Your mind has a lot of conditioning and a lot of patterns. Those are built upon childhood experiences and circumstances, and they are adaptive behaviors, so to say. So, your adaptive behaviors might have helped you then, but they are not suited to the life you're living now, right? And when you try to apply those adaptive behaviors now, you end up either self-sabotaging, either not taking the risk that you should take, right? So there's this clear problem wherein old patterns don't suit present circumstances, right? So these things create loops. So you can see yourself going through the same cycles again and again and again, right? That is a loop, right? And people don't notice the loops they are in, right? They end up in the same situations again and again and always ask, why is this happening to me, right? The reason is very simple. Once you know it, you will not be able to unsee it. It is because of confirmation bias. So your brain works on confirmation bias, and whatever perspectives or assumptions you have, your brain will only focus on the evidence that confirms that assumption and perception. Okay. So when you have a pattern, you see evidence in the real world that confirms that pattern. And this way, the loop compounds. And every time a loop happens, it gets stronger and stronger, right? How do you break it? There might be a lot of ways to do it. To be fair, journaling helps you break it because you start um, writing down your thoughts and feelings and emotions and your actions, right? And in the beginning, it gets intense. It is difficult to start to build this habit. So let's say you're carrying a big bag filled with all of your thoughts. Your brain will mostly focus your attention on the thoughts that agree with the emotion you have in the present moment, but still all the thoughts are always there. So when you're happy, you're focusing on happy thoughts. When you're sad, you're focusing on sad thoughts. But all the thoughts you're constantly carrying on your back. Now this is a big burden that you're carrying, right? Now when you're journaling, you're spilling all those thoughts on the paper, right? And now you can you only need to carry the thoughts and patterns that you want to carry with you, right? Because your brain doesn't need to hold all of those together. Also, one thing that I noticed happens is you might have a moment of clarity, okay, that will vanish like this if you don't note it down. And this has happened to me a lot of times as well, that I get clarity about a topic, but then I don't notice it again for months. And then that thought comes again. Like, yeah, I did think about this before, but I didn't pay attention to it then and it vanished. But when you journal, your moment of clarity sustains itself, right? And now you don't have to um, keep it in your mind anymore. You can now build upon it. So what happens when you journal is you can create a separation between the stimulus and the response, right? And that separation then now helps you notice your change tangibly. Okay, you can go against your feelings and behaviors once, uh, and it will not create a sustained change. To create a sustained change, you need repetition. And when you journal and you notice down the triggers of your patterns and how you chose to go against them, it builds this sort of belief in you. So this is compounding working in your favor, right? We have talked a lot about compounding on this channel. This is compounding working in your favor because now you can see tangible change in your behaviors, right? And also what happens is this repair mechanism then sort of becomes a maintenance mechanism for you, because once you have sort of created a change, now you're not going back to the previous patterns because you're constantly seeing the result that is happening, right? So it works as a maintenance journal after a while, and now you're tackling another loop or another pattern or conditioning now, right? So eventually you are getting more and more mental clarity about your life, right? And also your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all in alignment now, right? A lot of times in our life it happens that we are thinking something else and we are doing something completely different, right? That doesn't happen when you journal for a long time, because you can see uh, the contradictions between your actions and thoughts, your actions and feelings, and you notice those contradictions, you introspect on them, and eventually you bring about changes, right? So now your thoughts, feelings, and actions are in alignment, and you then can focus on the things you want to do more, right? Make sure that you're getting out of loops. So these are all the reasons journaling is so good. There are a lot of ways to journal. I know people that do audio journals. I know people that just pick up the camera like this and record themselves. I'm sure every type of journaling has its pros and cons. I'm sure video is more easier to do. Just record yourself, and you notice more about your feelings and expression. I am more of a writer. I used to write a blog as well. So I think writing helps me calm down, slow down my thought process. I only write down the things I really want to write down. It is very deliberate in its way, but you don't have to. You can just start the record button and make audio journals. I think that is very easy as well. I think the easiest one is audio journals. You just speak whatever is in your mind. But I think writing journals also help me scan easily. Like if I want to see how many times, this is a very quantitative way. So journaling is very qualitative in its approach, but the way I was viewing it is a little bit quantitative as well. So I can see over the past 3 weeks how many times a certain thought came up, right? And I can easily do that in a written journal rather than an audio journal, right? So of course this is a psychologist in me speaking, but you can clearly see how many times a thought came before, and how you have changed that pattern, and then how you're working on a new pattern now, right? It has helped me tremendously. I think my life is completely different now. I could make permanent changes in my life because of journaling. I could see the loops that I was a part of. I already told you how mental processes shape decision making on this channel. You have to get clarity about the life you want, and you have to get clarity about the belief systems you want to have. And if you're living through belief systems you already possessed from before, you're living an unexamined life, right? So I hope this video helped you. I really wish you can also try journaling. If you don't want to journal, you can always do other self-awareness and examination exercises. Meditation definitely helps. I am more of an overthinker, and meditation helps me calm down a lot. But journaling was a very new dimension for me. I was never able to stay consistent with it, but finally this year I decided to make it a habit of always writing down my journal before I slept. Sometimes I missed it, so I wrote down early next morning. It also helped me recall a lot of things that happened. I thought I wasn't doing much before I was journaling, but when I started journaling, I noticed how much I was actually doing in my day. It was crazy to look at my life in a third person perspective, which you can do in moments when you meditate, but to see it all laid down on a paper gives you the sort of separation that you need to be more objective about the changes you want to make. So yeah, I think that's all for this video. I hope it helped you with something too. If you like these sort of videos, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I hope you have a great day and a great life. Thank you.